going into Monday night, we didn't know exactly what to expect from Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers going in there with a 0 point differential entering the game. And then we have the Raiders on the other side, Josh McDaniels, who competing with Brandon Staley and who is the dumbest head coach in the NFL. The battle of the brains going into Monday Night Football. Didn't know what to expect. And now we have this game to unpack before we enter into our Week 6 games.
Yeah, we have this game to unpack, and really what I took away from this game was that Peyton Manning definitely has Devontae Adams on his fantasy team. We watched the Manning cast for the first half, then had to turn it off because Jimmy Kimmel was on the second half, and not a huge fan there. And then Peyton Manning, the entire first half was like, you need to throw it to Devontae. You need to throw it to Devontae. And it was like sitting with your friend who's like needs a fantasy player to go off. Like you want to root for him, but if you're talking about it the whole game, it's like it can drag on you, especially if it's all day on a Sunday. But like for the announcer to be doing that and Peyton Manning just like, yeah, when I came into the league, if I had the best receiver, what I did was feed them. I'm like, really? Is that why you threw 29 picks his first season?
Yeah.
It's like, is that why you had so many interceptions throughout your career and Brady always beat you because he made the right play each time? So that's what I took away from the first half, other than both these teams were trying to lose the entire game and the Raiders seemed disappointed that they won. Like, I've never seen a team that looked more disappointed from a victory. The Raiders almost looked defeated that they won in the way they did. Like, we're going out here. We only got 17 points. Jimmy G throws a horrible interception, and then Josh Jacobs gets going, but it's like the energy just felt deflating because you're in your hometown and 51% of the fans there are Green Bay Packers fans. Like, I couldn't imagine how discouraging that would be to be a Raiders fan when like an iconic team comes to town like the Steelers and the Packers, or just like a player on the field. It's like, damn, I have to play in a stadium every single week where it's going to be a toss up with how many fans are ours and how many fans are on the road. So it's like you don't really have a home field advantage.
No, yeah. And that's the fault that the Raiders have for moving from Oakland. Oakland, they had a fan base. They even made more sense staying in LA because that's where they originated from. But no, they wanted to chase, the gambling city of Vegas and expand that market. Credit to them. I mean, we saw the magic of the Golden Knights. I understand the appeal there, but you run into magic there with the Packers, the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Steelers, franchises that have large fan bases. They're going to travel there. Hell, even if you face a team, even like the Rams, for example, who don't have as large of a fan base, going down there. And what happens is you basically play 17 road games at that point where you don't necessarily have an advantage anywhere you go. So that's a disadvantage for them. And then other teams like the Rams and Chargers have that same problem, where you're chasing the money and ultimately you don't really have a home stadium to call home. But for me in this game, it's like for the Packers, Jordan Love threw some pretty bad interceptions through it all. That second interception where I didn't even see a wide receiver in his vicinity. It looks like he threw it directly to the safety. Don't know what was going on in his brain there. Had some pretty inaccurate balls throughout the game. Not very impressed with what I saw from Jordan Love. It's not like the Raiders defense is like this stout Steelers level defense. You're facing the Raiders, who are you could definitely get some points on the Raiders if you needed to, outside of Max Crosby giving you trouble. And then for the Raiders, it's like they go up 10-3 and it's like, all right, we're good. We scored our touchdown. We'll be fine. And then as this game progressed, the Packers scored. They're like, shit, we're going to have to score again. And whether it was just avoiding Devontae Adams the entire time or Josh Jacobs purposely like designing the play so that Josh Jacobs got beat up in the backfield, it's like they were trying to lose this game. I don't know if maybe they want Caleb Williams like the rest of the league does, but this game was pretty bad to watch. Was it as bad as like a 49ers and Broncos game of last year? Maybe not, but just like an overall just mediocre matchup through it all.
Yeah, mediocre matchup. And I feel like that this felt like a Super Bowl environment where it's like there was always like the crowd involved when it was like a third down either way. So it like felt like a Super Bowl, but just like a really bad quality Super Bowl, like to the level of almost Rams Patriots, where it was like anytime there was a turnover or one team got momentum, like they just shot themselves in the foot immediately. And
Yeah.
the Raiders defense actually played a pretty solid game all around. They were able to
Yeah.
stop the run outside of like a few AJ Dillon games,